Hello everyone and welcome. Happy new moon in Libra. So I just wanted to take some time to connect into the energies of this new moon cycle. So the new moon is an amazing time to find some time to release out of anything that is keeping you from moving forward with things, from creating something or manifesting something, from letting go perhaps, or things that are blocking you from living in your highest potential, from being in your highest potential, from having the most out of life, joy, bliss, etc. So the new moon and all of the moon cycles, it's a great time to kind of hunker in and look at, do some reflection work. So what's not working for me anymore? What needs to shift? And remember, this is in all aspects of your life. So when you really start digging into the core of these, of some of your blocks or some of your wounds, and then you also begin to work with these energies on a consistent basis, you will find that you're much more easy to shift, right, within your relationships, within your life. Perhaps somewhere where you would experience constant conflict, or where you're experiencing these loops, or it's like these same things themselves keep coming up. I'm getting triggered, I'm feeling abandoned, I'm feeling like nobody is here for me. Well, it's a great time to begin to move into, why am I having this experience? Why am I feeling so wounded? And it's to bring awareness to this in order to heal these wounds that keep us out of living our highest potential, living our best life, making the best decisions, making the best choices, feeling the most connected, feeling more joy, more bliss in our everyday life, less stress, less worry, less anxiety, less fear. And so taking some time at this new moon, specifically in Libra, and focusing on where you may be experiencing imbalance. So where you have, let's say, experienced imbalance, bringing balance back to this space. So letting go of things like lack, or anything that holds that mentality or that reality in place, because we want to bring you back to this balanced state, and so you can experience abundance, right? If we've experienced lack, okay, so how do we shift into abundance? How do we shift into this space of abundance? How do we let go of what is holding us back from receiving our abundance, from actualizing our abundance, from moving into our abundance, right? And that would be finding balance between, within our life experience. So taking some time to look into where you are out of balance, where you're not being sustained, where you may not have sustainable practices, where okay, well, this is just temporary, and it's been temporary for a while, so how do I really start to face some of these issues and actually create a solution for myself? Actually take those steps that will allow me to begin to move forward, that will allow me to essentially close out some of these old stories perhaps, and then shift into some of these new spaces. So that's some of the energy that I'm feeling into at this time. So looking into your businesses, your career paths, your relationships, your families, your perhaps the families you grew up with, as well as, the families that you may be creating or that you are experiencing, whether that be the traditional family or whether that be, um, a family that you are bringing together. So beginning to tune into these energies of, also creating balance within our lives, like where we are beginning to come into awareness of where perhaps we're not in alignment. We can begin to shift into alignment and then to again bring balance to these parts and these pieces of ourselves and what we feel we are intended to actualize into. So I want you to take some time now to just find a space where you can, grab a piece of paper and a pen and begin to write down some of your intentions for this new moon cycle. So these would be, what do I want to release, right? What is not working for me any longer? What is holding me back, right? And this is going to look different for everybody. So perhaps it's, I really want to do this thing. I really want to start this business. I really want to leave this relationship, or I want this relationship to shift, right? It needs to shift. Whatever it may be, right? So perhaps it's releasing out of toxic situations. Perhaps it's releasing out of imbalanced relationships. Perhaps it would be letting go of the fear surrounding making this choice to move forward. Perhaps it's letting go of the anxiety associated with that choice, right? Where we have to feel like we have to micromanage it rather than just taking that choice, knowing that that is the right choice and letting things kind of come together for us, for the universe to meet us there. And that's that leap of faith, right? When we leave something behind that we may have known for so long, or we have operated within for so long, right? Whether that be a life circumstance, whether that be a mentality, whether that be a way of being, a thought form, a belief system, whatever it may be that we're shifting out of, because we all have the opportunity at this time to shift into these new spaces, and the universe will meet you there, right? As you make those choices within your highest alignment. And it's to trust, and it's to take those, each step of the way, and continue to move forward, continue to take those steps that will actualize that which you are meant to be and become, or to create. So make a list of, and the more specific you can get, the great, that's great. But you can also just intend to perhaps, maybe it would be, I want to release out of my anger, right? Not that you're going to bury your anger, of course, but how do I begin to understand where that anger comes from? And how can I heal that part of me that is expressing that anger? How do I heal that part of me? How do I love that part of me? How do I bring soothing touch and care to that part of myself that is feeling perhaps rejected in that moment, or abandoned in that moment, or as a mother myself, it's that Why am I not being listened to? Right? It's that, well, where's my support, perhaps? And it's bringing awareness to that part of yourself that is, you feel, is lacking that support, right? And so how do you provide care for that part of yourself? How do you tend to that part of yourself that is just feeling so wounded, right? So hurt, so alone, so abandoned, so rejected? So it's really tending to these really deep wounds, like these deep wounds. We're going to be shifting into the energy of Scorpio here. So this would be that, over the next week or so, to begin to really connect into how to navigate to these depths in order to truly heal these parts of ourselves. So intending to release out anything that is holding us back from that deep core healing that we can receive at this time, that we are capable of holding, capable of navigating to, capable of receiving. So once you feel like you have listed out those intentions of what you will be releasing, I also want you to begin to connect into, okay, well, what will I be creating this cycle? As we release, we allow ourselves to call in something new. So perhaps it's relationships where I can speak my truth. Or perhaps it's first we must honor our truth, first we must speak our truth, then we are able to call in those right relationships that are in alignment with that truth. So it's within that understanding of that process as well. So you can also, once you list out the intentions of what you want to bring in, then I want you to list action steps for each of those. You can get as detailed as you want, right? What actions will I be taking to actualize these intentions? So calling in these right relationships that where I am able to speak my truth. So perhaps for you that may look like maybe I'm going to approach relationships in this different fashion. Perhaps I'm going to approach dating in this different fashion. Perhaps I need to shift my mindset in order to accommodate this inviting in of these new relationships. Because the beauty in it is also understanding that we can shift these relationships from the inside out. When you have another person, right, who is willing to also shift with you, then you can set that tone. You can begin that process of speaking your truth within relationship, right? And then you allow relationships that are not in alignment with that to fall away, and then you attract and hold relationships that are in alignment with, right, what you say and what you are going to choose for yourself. And that's kind of how it happens, right? But we must be willing to let go of that old relationship, because we also, you could say, had a stake in it as well. So how do we pull out that stake, put that stake into a new space, into a new presentation, you could say, or a new way of relating, or a new way of being within relationship? And then we allow things to just kind of naturally unfold. And that's the idea here. Once we have listed out, excuse me, then we want to, okay, well, how does that all fit together, and how are we truly able to do that moving forward? So I hope that helps with your understanding or or how to kind of envision how that process of letting go, releasing, and then calling in would work and what it would look like, right? How would it look particular to you? So I hope that helps. So other things that we may want to call in, and always, when you work with the energies that are present. So again, I said Libra, so we were looking at balance. How do we create balance? Scorpio, lots of Scorpio energy. Scorpio is this deep emotional waters. So clearing out old emotions, right? How do wounds affect our day-to-day experiences, right? When we're feeling down, when we're feeling abandoned or rejected, like how are we going to show up for our clients? How are we going to show up truly, fully, wholly, and completely in our lives, in our relationships, whatever they may be, whomever they may be with? So it's this, clearing out of these old emotions, releasing out of these old emotions. Think about like when you've gotten in arguments and it's like all this stuff just comes up. So how do we begin to tend to all this stuff that comes up and truly work through it so it's no longer being carried? So it's no longer being held within your body, within your energy field. So clearing to the very, very, very deep core levels, healing to the very, very deep core levels. Emotions are really high right now, so Scorpio season's going to be pretty cray-cray. Pretty cray-cray. Especially with all these new energies coming in and everything that we're seeing happening in the collective. So just be aware of that and find that balance, find that rhythm, find that harmony, find that stillness within yourself, right? Get to your core wounds, get to your core being, because you cannot be within your core authentic being without really clearing through all of those internal wounds. There will always be something that may be off when we hold on, or where we bury, or where we're not fully in touch with all of our self, right? Our emotions, our mental capacities, our faculties, our feelings, our knowings, our intuitions, our instincts, our beliefs, our thoughts. But within that, we can direct our thoughts. We can be within higher vibrations. We can, create from spaces of joy. We can create from spaces of intelligence, and create from spaces of fairness and equality, right? And it's that. But we must be within that understanding of what that truly is. If we're still holding on to biases and binary thinking and right and wrong, left, right, black, white, rather than understanding that it's not that simple, it's much more complex. And to begin to weave our energies into and through some of these spaces to clear out any discordancy, any distortion, any disorders, anything that is not within our highest integrity, And so sharing that for your own process during this new moon. So once you have written everything down, and of course you can pause this at any time, once you have written everything down that you feel to release, to bring in actions that you will be taking, and you feel very cohesive and good about what you will be doing this month, how you will be supporting and caring for yourself this month, I want you to just take some time to find a space so you may just open fully to receive in a new moon blessing. And once you have found that space, we're going to call all of our energies into the present moment. Ahatana ashene atemone. Ahatana ashene ashene ashene. We're going to allow ourselves to open to receive in these new moon energies, this new moon blessing, this new moon potential. Ahashana atene ashemone. Ahatana ashene ashemone. Ahatana ohoana ashemone. Ahatana atene ashemone. Ohoana ashene atemone. Ahadana ashene ashene. And we're going to call in the sacred feminine at this time to assist us in balancing and harmonizing fully, wholly, and completely into our sacred masculine. So holding this balance within ourselves. Ahashana atene atemone. Ahadana ashine ashine ashine. This blending, this harmonizing of our sacred feminine and our sacred masculine. So our ability to reflect, our ability to hold space, our ability to feel, to know, and our ability to also take action on that process. Ahadana ashine atemone ahashana. So this alignment between the inner and the outer. Atene ashimone ahadana. And then this external support arriving to meet us there. That inner to outer merge. Ahashana atene ashimone atene ashine ashine. So this holding of our sacred feminine process at this time to then begin to ground in and actualize into the physical realities for ourselves. Ahadana ashimone ashini. So birthing this into being. Ahadana ashimone ahadana atene ashini ashini ashini. Good. So ensuring that, this is all within alignment. So your actions should be within alignment to, your process, and to call in the energies of truth, light, harmony to assist us, to help us to rebalance, to enlighten us, to reveal to us. Ahadana ashimone ahadana ashine ashine. Where we may be within imbalance and how to correct or adjust to allow for that internal harmony to be held within one's being. Ahashana atemone ahadana ashine ashine. So becoming aware of where to make adjustment, make correction, align to right choice, perhaps to release, to shift out, to move into. Ahadana ashene atemone ahadana ashene. So bringing in this support into one's energy field, and you can just imagine this beautiful, like sparkling, I see it like as this iridescent type light just coming in through the top of your energy field, entering into your space, entering into your sanctuary, into your physical body. Ahadana ashimone ashini. Supporting you, holding you, assisting you. Ahadana ashimone atene ashini ashini. And allowing everything that is not in vibrational harmony with this to begin to release out, to begin to dissipate, to dismantle, to no longer hold in this space. Ahashana ashimone ashine ashine. So bringing in this new light, bringing in this new joy, bringing in this new peace. Ahadana ashimone achene achene atene atemone ahashana ashine. Healing these wounds. Bringing in this light to heal these wounds, bringing in this light to support and assist one in fully shifting into a new space of abundance. Ahadana ashine atemone. Of balance, of harmony, of bliss, of joy. Ashine atemone ahadana ashine. And in all timelines, all spaces, all dimensions, all experiences. Ahadana ashine atemone. within truth of one's being, ahashana. So this is not within false optimism or overlays. No, this is within your own understanding and your own energetic integrity. So tuning into this that is available to you, this ability to tune into where you are not feeling well and to shift out of those spaces, out of those elements, out of those relationships, out of those alignments. Ahashana, ashene, atemone, ashini. So really trusting and feeling into this space of what feels good. Ahadana, ashemone. Where you are not feeling good, it is something to recognize. Where are you holding on to? What are you holding on to that is intended to be released? Ahadana, ashene, atemone. So some gut clearing here, some releasing out of where we maybe in fear, and so we hold on really tight to something. Ahashana, atene, ashini. We're afraid to take those next steps forward, making excuses for ourselves, telling us it's going to be different this time, and yet there's no shift, there's no change in the dynamic, and so it continues to loop. Ahadana, ashemone, ashini. Releasing out of all old looping, all old behavioral patterns of being. Ahadana, ashemone. Gathering our strength, gathering our charge. Ahadana, ashemone, ashini. Moving forward. Ahashana, ashini, ashini, ashini. Good. So, some energies I've really been tuning into as well is this push. This push in. Something I've been experiencing almost with myself is dragging my horse, dragging the horse to the water for me dragging myself to the water and being like, drink that damn water. So really, doing it, walking the talk, taking those actions, bringing in that energy into the physical, right? And some of us who may have we really want to, we want to do this, we want to do this, and we want to do this, and we don't know where to start. Take that first step. Maybe it's enrolling in a course. Maybe it's getting some support. Maybe it's reading, buying a book that maybe breaks down the process for you. But really beginning to take the time to step out of where it's the same old story, it's the same old thing, and you're just not feeling it. And things have to change. Taking that step forward. And really the process of that is healing oneself. So I hope this helps. I hope this serves and supports. And I also wanted to mention that I will be offering up a free 5-day challenge for those who would like to dive into some family wounding, so healing our wounds to family, diving into ancestral healing, diving into where we experienced traumas, wounds of abandonment, abuse, betrayal, rejection, and really beginning to bring in this healing energy and the light to these experiences, fully healing those wounds, right? Sealing those spaces and healing the now, right? So when we go back to our childhood and we look at these things and we see how, things, how connected things are, right? When we go back to the original wound and then we witness from that point forward, and we heal that, right? We heal that wound in the present, and we say no more, and we will choose something new for ourselves. That's what we'll be doing over 5 days. We'll be working through the spiritual wounding we may experience, any psychological or mental body wounding, so our thought processes, our thought forms, our biases, our binary thought processes, how we may view the world, our mindsets. So we bring awareness to these things, these aspects, and we begin to heal and dismantle anything that is no longer well for us, right? We're looking for wellness. Then we go into the emotional spaces. So our deep feeling that pain, right? Feeling that, you know, feeling that wound, healing it, experiencing it, feeling that pain, honoring that pain, knowing it, knowing it, loving yourself, bringing in that beautiful mothering energy into yourself, nurturing yourself, just loving yourself through it. And then we go into the physical body and well, the physical experience really, and how we hold this also, right? We hold this within our physical body, we hold it within our, right, our brain, our nervous system, how we relate to the world, how we behave, right? And that also, right? And so then it goes into our physical experience, and then we also will begin to heal that physical experience. So begin to call our power back, call our energy back to um, create something new for ourselves. So I'll be walking you through that process over 5 days. It's really, really deep healing work. So I really want those who feel committed to making some change for themselves first. Also, being aware again that it's very deep energy work. So um, you will have the opportunity to, you know, if you can't do it, you know, I'm going to be running it for a bit. I'm still setting it up, but I just wanted to share for those who may be interested in that. And then I will be running a workshop on healing our mother wounding. And that is like our matriarchal wounding, or the mother wounding, and how we carry that through generations, and beginning to heal the what I feel. So when people talk about this, the patriarchal systems, right, and smash the patriarchy, and we have to do all this, yeah, well, we do need to bring balance into this planet. Yes, you know, these toxic masculine, right, systems that we may live in have to change, and the systems we live in have to change. But it's more in the sense and the understanding of stepping into our power, right? Let's say as feminine, right? Stepping into our power. But this is also for people who may not identify as a woman. We all carry mother wounds, right? We all carry these wounds from our mother that, you know, are often unconscious, that we often bury, that we often make excuses for. Or if you've ever heard of, you know, like the narcissistic mother, like right, we all protect the mother, we protect the dark mother, right? And so it's within this uncovering of, you know, the dark mother, let's say, right, the part of ourselves that we all have this, where we've experienced the dark mother, or as a mother where we have become aware of the dark mother within us, right? And it's usually because of something, right, that we're carrying on from our lineage, from our mother, right, where our mother and grandmother, right, and we carry these wounds of our past. We carry our mother's wounds, and so it's healing our own wounds from our mother that we take our power back, right, and we step into the presence of the divine mother, and we honor the divine mother, and we embody the divine mother, right, and we bring in the divine mother, the mother of all, right? We create the new systems. We birth the new systems into being. For those who may identify as male or men, or on the masculine side of things, it would be to bring awareness to your relationships with the feminine, right? And bringing awareness to your own experiences of the feminine, and where you have been wounded. Where you have been wounded by the feminine energy, by the mother, right? By the wounded mother. Because the mother carries those wounds, and then you experience that wounding, and then you carry that wounding with you in all of your connections and relationships to the feminine. And as we heal those wounds, we bring awareness and light to our experiences. We feel the pain of that abandonment, of that rejection, no matter how, buried it may be, or small or minuscule it may seem, right? Within the grand scheme of things, we say, oh, I'm over that. Oh, yeah, it happened, but no big deal. I'm fine. That's a trauma response. And it's to dig back into those spaces, to feel that pain that sets us free, liberates us, heals us of that wound, and allows us to no longer hold on to those dynamics, you could say, right? Or how that dysfunction plays itself out. So look out for that as well. I'm really super excited to be doing this for everyone. It's been a long time coming for me to be able to put some of these things together. So I feel so honored to be doing it, and I hope to see some of you there. And wishing you a lovely new moon. And we will chat soon. Toodaloo.